So it's a place for learning, but it's also a real good time to connect with other people that get it on a real level. I'll take pauses and just basically make sure we're all good. The only rule is that you don't injure yourself trying to just keep up. We're not doing anything that crazy, but if there's anything that you feel you should not do, just sit it out or ask her to mention something, throw your hand up. Let's go through together. We're gonna do the right side. All up together, ready? We're gonna lift, up, and kick out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Not a lot of help going on. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it again. Ready? Up, kick out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 more. I'm gonna yell out some cues as we get going. Ready? Up, kick out. Try to keep the standing leg straight too. Squeeze both quads. 1, down. This one, squeeze the standing glute as well. Try to get really tight. Ready? Up, kick out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got one more. Up, kick out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. We're going to rest about 10 seconds to do the other leg. So the most important cues are the standing leg. You want to squeeze the crap out of that glute and then keep your ribs down. So that way you're nice and tall. You kick out, you're not buckling. This is what prevents that, your ribs and glute. Okay? Let's do the left leg together. Ready? Knee up, kick out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's go up. Left leg up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Keep going. 3 more. Up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the only thing I'm going to demand is the legs super straight, completely no knee bend. So you can go way lower if that has to happen. Ready? 2 more. Up, kick out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got 1 more. It's good. Come on up. Kick out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. On your thigh, rectus femoris. Now you're going to wake up to it pretty sore tomorrow just from that. It's not a lot of weight, but it's just an intense squeeze. So now we're going to go exactly to that area and stretch it out. So that's something I've done with any area that became really problematic, whether the low back, the hips, something that's chronically tight and sensitive, squeezing it in a short contraction where it's crampy and getting a lot of blood flow, but it's not stretched. That then makes it feel way better to go into something even as simple as a quad stretch or on the wall or whatever. And sit here and hold for 1 minute, very active. I'll coach you to it as we go. So we're just lowering down and gonna hold, and I'll walk by and you guys push the cues. You're on the back toes. So lift up, do a calf raise on the back foot. Exactly. Okay, we're going from here. Just hold. 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Don't cheat down there. I see it. Keep it up. For the low back's sake, that you keep things active and don't just hang out at the bottom. So squeeze the back glute and keep the ribs down. Hold wherever you're comfortable. Nice. Good. Keep squeezing the back glute. Squeeze the back quad too. Keep the legs super straight. You can make the easy things hard for a safety.
It's like my hip flexor. I feel like it's like so, like it just goes
intensely?
Yeah.
If you're already working here, then you're good.
I feel it all over. No, like nowhere
Then you're good.
Okay.
Keep it going. 10 seconds. Stay up tall. Stay up tall. Okay, break. All right, let's go down together. 3, 2, 1. Upright torso. As tall as you can get your torso. Head up to the ceiling. Squeeze the crap out of the back glute and back quad. Just hold. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Doing good?
I stood all day, so.
Huh?
I stood all day. I was working all day.
I hear you. You're good. Doing good. Solid. Try to get on the back toes. Stand on the back toes. 5 more seconds. The back foot is like a calf raise. Perfectly upright torso, head to the ceiling, but ribs down, not flaring back. Squeeze the back quad, squeeze the back glute. Okay, so an important disclaimer. We don't want to abuse ourselves. This is one that you can already cause some strain on the back if it's not strict and you start arching and you're just trying to get low. Your back is going to take a load just by trying to fight the stretch of your psoas. This muscle goes into your spine. So this is stuff that gets tight really often through life and sitting. And so the goal is to stimulate it, bring some kind of work to it, lifting the thigh, getting a burn, and then gentle stretching over like 6 months. So I just don't want anyone getting really messed up after today trying to hit the full minute or go really deep. So just do whatever feels smart. Even if it's halfway down, we're going to do one more round. Even if it's just right here and you're semi-contracting, that's fine. So we're going to do the hip flexor kick out one more time though. Yeah, that one's going to be fun. I'm going to be up here because I want to see. I feel like there's a lot of us, so some people hide in the corners of I'm seeing heavy breathing and real faces, then I'm seeing yawns. I just want to make sure everyone's giving it their all. All right, let's go up and lift. Right leg. Kick out. Hard contraction, wherever that leg's got to be. Knee locked out. 2, 1, lower. Good. Think about the posture. Kick out, ribs down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's go again. Knee up. Kick out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Good job. Kick out. Good. Squeeze that standing glute. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Really solid. Good. Kick out. 3, 2, 1. If it's jumping and shaking, you're doing the right stuff. Kick out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm impressed by the balance display going on by y'all. Kick up. So we're trying to regain neutral pelvic alignment. We're trying to learn what that feels like while stretching the hips. So we're obviously working the front leg like a squat. The back leg's getting stretched out totally in the groin and the hip flexor. But the ability to stretch your hip and not be doing a back compensation is something kind of to relearn. So we're trying to just open up deep stuff in the hip slowly. Together, I'm going to count us down. We're going to go 3 seconds down, 2-second pause, and then up. Doing 8 reps. Ready? Let's go down. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2, and then up. So that's 1. Good job. Lower. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2, and up. Beautiful. Again, lower. 3, 2, 1. Hold. And then back up. Remember all the things we do in the first round. Really tall pelvis, really tall torso. Keep the pelvis neutral. Don't overarch the back. Let's lower together. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2. Back up. Nice and tall. Let's lower. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Take a breath. And then back up. Good work. Couple more. 1. Hold. 1, 2. Up. Nice. Back down. 3, 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2. Up. Try to get really high in the back foot. Big calf raise on the back foot. 3, 2, 1. Higher on the back foot. And back up. Couple more. You guys are doing great. Lower down. 3, 2, 1. Hold. Contract the back leg. Back up. Wall squeeze. The tib raise. The front leg at the bottom. You can squeeze the front of your ankle to close it even deeper to get a deeper sit into the front leg. Okay, let's go down together. 3 seconds on the way down. Ready? 3, 2, 1, hold, 1, 2, back up. That's 1, good work. Let's lower down, 3, 2, 1, hold, 1, 2, up. Good work. 3, 2, 1, hold, 1, 2, back up. Good work. Lower down, 3, 2, 1, hold, and then back up. One cue I want to give everyone, that back foot, try to rotate so you're on the outer toes, on the back foot. So you're turning the back leg in. Rotate it inwards a little bit. It's going to intensify the stretch. All right, let's lower down. 3, 2, 1, hold, 1, 2, up. Yeah, so the foot, the alignment of your hips is something to keep in mind too. If someone were just the pure goal of getting down low and they didn't care at all how it felt in the stretch, this back leg usually ends up opening up. And you can see just where on the back foot are you planted. If you're here, your hips aren't square, your hips are here. So if you were to be purely trying to be straight to get the most stretch front to back, you want your toes to stay aligned. And usually the cue I told you all to try to rotate and be on the outer toes, when you're trying to be on the outer toes, you're actually just staying straight. Because when you think your foot is straight back there, it's probably actually out. So the rotation of the back leg changes the stretch huge. Try your best to keep it inwards. Going down, 3, 2, 1, hold, and let's come back up. Really good job on the back toes, calf raise in the back leg. Lower down, 3, 2, 1, hold, and back up. Couple more, doing good. Lower down, 3, 2, 1, hold, 1, 2, up. Let's do one more. Lower down, 3, 2, 1, hold, deep breath, and then let's come back up. Good work. Okay, we just indirectly trained the spine. We just started to test it. So if you're trying to be a runner, you're trying to do things that are involving your hips, and you keep going into back flare-ups, one preparation test is, can you handle the pull of that? Your gait running is more of a cycle, but still it's the pull on your back that leads to that strain later. If you can't do this without worrying the next day and everything feels tight, something to work on before you go out and run the 5K for the turkey trot and stuff. So
you use to like keep your ribs down, because I'm trying to like keep my ribs decompressed and like trying to like really practice breathing out of my spine. All right, we're probably gonna go over that next, right?
There's only so much you can do like in the moment today to remember that. It's kind of like posture. You know, if you're set to a rib flare, there's probably other compensating reasons why. But just learning like the 3 thing, what I do is like a chin tuck, rib down, glutes contracted. You can excessively do that and you sit all weird, but like those 3 things together while tall are like.
You just gotta practice it over. I've been looking at the like hip, the 90-90 hip variation when you like lie down on the ground and you have your hips like sort of lined up like this 90 with your legs against the wall. And you like push against it to practice like breathing back out of your spine.
Yeah.
Like diaphragm movement.
I would say things like that of breath work in those positions, even when you're doing a split squat, take anything that tests it, try your best to get there, and then force a deep diaphragmatic breath without breaking posture.
So you really recommend that neck tuck, ribs down. What do you like? Do you practice like pushing your abs down, like flexing your abs down when you mean ribs down? Or like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, pretty
And
much. Semi-engaged here without getting like super tense in the diaphragm. But yeah, go in the testing positions. Bottom of the split squat's a good one where you want to flare, but you're forcing a knot and you take a deep breath. Like that's a reteaching. It's probably strength. Coordination of your diaphragm and the hips. Have we heard of Wim Hof? Anyone here? Okay, so we're going to purposely hyperventilate and get dizzy and then hold our breath till we see stars. And the goal is to rev up our nervous system, really redline it, and then down-regulate it. And through touching the extremes, it helps kind of reset the baseline. In someone that's living in chronic pain or you're in a state of constant flare-up, your nervous system gets on guard all the time, these are sort of non-movement things that really do make a difference. I just know because when I was deep in it, my life was like just the epitome of anxiety, even within the body, not even so much a thought problem. And so something like this can be done daily. and it probably should be. Just as humans, I think being deliberate about your breath can help, but especially if you've been in a chronic pain loop cycle, this has helped a ton. You'd be surprised how you realize like so much around these weird tightness, tension-based pains that feel like the ache, not so much a tendon that's tender or something that you could tell was just, I did too much, but like a daily ache pull, a lot of that stuff can start to wane away when there's a more holistic approach of this like calming kind of work. So I'm gonna put on the audio. We're all gonna be kind of in our own little worlds. Obviously have enough space that you're not breathing on someone's neck. It's gonna be about 8 minutes. So it's 3 rounds. If you wanna do it, I would. If not, just sit put and just hang out.
In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, into the belly, into the chest, and let go. 10 more. Breathe in, let it go. Do you want to prolong your breath hold? Pause the video now and continue when you feel the urge to breathe. Alright, breathe in and hold for 15 seconds.
Okay, so no rush on getting up, moving around. We're gonna do a little bit of some ground up mobility anyways for the feet and ankle that's on the ground. But weird stuff to me if you told 15-year-old Brendan that he's doing a workshop and gonna have 40 people lay on the ground and hyperventilate. Definitely something I would never have done. It was kind of like normal life was getting cut away bit by bit of the things I loved, and then normal just existence of sitting in cars and walking around and just being able to work kind of was getting wrecked through pain, to where like I had to try anything, and along the way some of this weird stuff actually ended up being way more powerful than I expected. I think that's a lot of people's journeys. You don't anticipate a lot of the lessons you kind of find along the way were by force. So I appreciate y'all's openness to try some of this stuff, because it's not on the flyer of the workshop. It's mainly the exercises and the back training. But this is stuff that I do tell people, if you're really in it deep, this is something to definitely tap into. I do it daily and it helps out a lot. So we're gonna go into a ground focused flow from somebody I learned, Kador Ziani, who's a friend of mine, this 50-year-old athlete who does all this crazy stuff, like an insane athlete. And he credits a lot of it to studying postures of animals. And they do a lot of these mobility positions that are just kind of, I guess, supposed to be natural, but we lose the ability to just sit in crisscross or sit in a squat, and all these things that become like fitness challenges when they used to just be life. And so I'll take you all through some of it, stretch some of the feet out, train some of the top of the ankles and the knees. Obviously, I'll explain how you can vary it and make it easier for yourself. And then we're gonna get into food and we'll get to chat. And then our last hour is the intense training, and we'll see what those low backs can do. So let's go into the first posture. You're gonna sit on the feet. So the top of the feet, just a foot sit. So obviously we may have different situations with the top of our ankles. If you're super tight, you can lean forward. If the knees are intense, you can take some weight off. But the goal is to be able to sit on top of the feet, and the variation that really helped me is put the toes together, the big toe, and then try to rotate the ankle out. So the heel bone's facing outwards. So you're not actually sitting on your heels, you're sitting inside of your feet. That'll start to stretch out muscles on the side of your calf. If you ever get tightness behind your knee or deep on the corner of your calf, this is one that really, really, really opens up that corner of the knee. And the obvious things everyone experiences of super, super tight hips and the symptoms of back tightness and how we're so focused on what we feel is the problems that most of the stretching we try to do to fix this stuff is at the deepest core parts of our body. And it's almost like the most punishing way to approach it. When you try to stretch out a bad low back, most of us have probably tried it. It doesn't really go that well. And it never sticks. So it's almost like when you have a problem, this core centered in your body, your hips are all whacked out of balance, you got back pain, you have all this tightness and stiffness. Starting at the furthest extremities for the training and for the stretching is kind of like the most gentle way back instead of the deepest stretches in your spine, starting just with the feet. So we're going to go to the next thing. You're just going to pop one foot up on the toes. The other one's still on the top of the foot and on the ankle. So now we're starting to stretch the arch of the foot we're doing, the Achilles a little bit. And it starts to add up to help you with the bigger things we do, like the split squat we did and really opening up deep, that you need your ankles and feet on the same page. So we're on one ankle and we're on one foot. What I also do is I squeeze the glute a little bit on the side that has the toe up, kind of like a couch stretch if you're familiar with that stretch. Just curiosity for the poll for everyone to kind of gauge. For who is this like not that bad at all right now? You can kind of tolerate this. It's cool. Okay. And then who's on the excruciation side? Okay. What's excruciating about it? Like the foot, the toe, a lot of toe. You got to lean. We're gonna switch. Big toe. That's kind of where I was at. So that was a lot of this guy, Kador Ziani. He's 50 years old and can like jump up and kick a rim, and he was the world's best dunker. So he's preserved his longevity in sports, and he credits the big toe to being the lost sort of superpower. He could like balance all of his weight on one big toe and it doesn't hurt him. And I met him like 4 years ago, and I was like, I'm like 23 and I'm aching on the ground, hurting, and he's 50 and he's like, no, it's easy, Brendan, you have to walk on your toe. And I'm like, dude, what? And that's when I realized that the idea of, oh, age is slowing me down is really like maybe not as simple as it seems, you know? So it's about a daily practice. You guys are awfully quiet. Focusing.
Taking the knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to say the people who got lucked out on the mat, they're not complaining for some reason. Kind of worked out good for them. So going back here, now we're going to go into, it's called the camel. So still on the top of the ankle on one side, and the front leg pops up, flat on the heel. You're already there, you're doing it. It's called the camel, because apparently camels sit like this and then they spring up and can jump from that position. So we're going to hug the knee, compress. Obviously, be wary of your back situation. I don't want you super rounding and curling. If it feels uncomfortable, you could just sit back on the heel, sit back on the hand if you need. So here, as tight to the thigh as you can. Solid. Stretch out the front ankle a little bit. Something you can try that he showed that looked really easy and I had to train for it was this sort of like a shrimp squat, that from this position you can squat up and push off the top foot a little bit. If you want to try that, you could try that. I'm going to say let's go for 10 reps if you got it. If it feels like a bad idea, don't do it. But this is training the top of the foot, the top of the ankle. This should build tolerance too.
You got a question to that?
Yeah, the bottom position, I'll say. Obviously, you could grab stuff. You could have handles, do it on a, hold it by a chair, hold it by something sturdy, Okay, let's go back and we're going to switch. But even building the tolerance to the bottom, I mean, it may not be your legs aren't strong enough. It just feels like you shouldn't put your body weight on top of your ankle yet. That doesn't feel smart. Stay upright, push. Just like 70% on the front leg, 30% on the back. We're going to squat down as deep as we feel comfortable passively, and then the wall is going to help you stay upright to not be super deep into a pelvic tilt. If you're comfortable squatting at the bottom and just holding this for a couple minutes, we could do that. The wall just makes it more comfortable if your back is really sensitive to that. So, heels on the ground? Yeah, heels on the ground. This is just a position that I think if daily you worked on a little bit, even if you put the heels up, this is stuff that I wouldn't call a mobility flow, but it adds up a ton. Those postures and then this just for 2 minutes. Then when you go into your normal training, it will feel so much better after just a couple months. I was just asked by Alex, right? Yep. About compression and just how to, basically what about LBA works on compression, or what's the approach to try to handle compression of your disc. Gravity, life compresses us. If you expand that over 50 years, that's why a 5'9" woman might turn into a 5'7" woman over 30 years. And so within the disc height, obviously you get compression through a long day, you get compression through heavy lifting. You become really intolerant to compression as soon as there's local inflammation and a herniation or something that has swelled and is now chronically with less space. So a general way of thinking I would hope to impart on you guys is to question the things you're desperately trying to alleviate and relieve that feels like never works quite enough. It's kind of like there's water in the boat and you're scooping it out, but there's a hole in the boat still, and it may not be realizing that's not the point, isn't to relieve it. So for example, compression becomes the enemy when you had disc injuries or you had even just swelling along the spine, because you have so much less room to mess around with. Nerves are getting compressed, you have pain every day, and you can feel it's coming from sitting in a chair all day and it's squishing down. You can literally feel that. So then you just start to think the goal is to decompress. And now there's entire markets of fancy ass machines that will help you do it. It'll flip you upside down, it'll grab you by the neck and the ankles and literally like pull you like an accordion. And that might feel really relieving until it doesn't. And then it's now painful to decompress. If you hang from a bar every day like I did, or you hang from rings, and you're like feeling good with your spine letting go, eventually the tissue that is holding your spine together from just ripping, that gets overused and isn't trained either. So the example of compression is that you identify the pain trigger is compression. So then the intuitive thought might be decompression is the forever answer, but it's not progressive. It doesn't build anything. So the real goal is to build tolerance to both. You can regain the ability to tolerate compression. You can also build between compression and decompressions through like recompression. For example, if you go to the back extension and when you're off the edge of the machine, anytime you invert, things do start to open up and decompress. But then when you come back up with little muscles to pull yourself out of flexion, all the little piece by piece vertebral muscles that are there, that's what helps you tolerate compression again. And so that's just one example of like dead end runaway problems that you just keep trying to fix. It's usually never just about that symptom. It's about everything around that structure and both sides of it. You want to compress. You should be able to tolerate squatting with weight. You should be able to tolerate the weight of jogging. For example, studies have come out in the last 15 years that distance runners who were consistently running over decades regained disc height. Now, I'm pretty sure that's not misinformation, and I've looked through a few now, but the idea that disc height only just shrinks and there's nothing you can do about it, there's not much training stimulus that's going to squeeze discs in a tolerable amount, but running is a bunch of short little compressions. And it turns out, if it's at the tolerable amount, that may not be destructive. It can actually help you become more robust. So that's just one very nuanced, specific example of that. That compression may feel like the enemy now, but if you can learn the right way to get the right amount, and maybe some decompression, that'll work. The Problem is, you're going to be sold, here's the latest, greatest way to decompress your spine, and then you're married to it. And then that doesn't work, so then you got to go to another extreme thing. So it's real messy. I mean, I'm just curious how deep in it y'all are. Like, is anyone's life kind of ruined? I know I just say that frankly, because my life was ruined, and I'm like a real sarcastic, lighthearted guy, but like it's a big deal. I want y'all to walk away without just being like, okay, I met the cool, maybe not even cool, I met the weird guy. I met the guy that I've seen online. And I got to work out, my hips are sore. That's one experience, but I really want you guys to know that, like, I think the only reason that I've had progress with helping people isn't even about the exercises. It's like truly helping them see breakthroughs of hope, but also tangible reasons behind it. The way we look at this stuff is blinding, and it traps us in. You get 12 things that could fix your back according to the current treatment model, and if those don't work, you're supposed to slow down, and then you try this holistic thing that kind of doesn't work, and you just feel like you're chasing dead-end things, and then you get hopeless. And so knowing better where you guys are at, or kind of what you tried, or what you're lost on, or what you really need to know is really helpful, because then I can kind of remember back in my story like what big aha realizations I had, or with helping people. Like, I've had thousands of these combos with people, and it's surprising what ended up really helping them over time. Anybody in a tough back situation?
Yeah.
Okay. How long has that been?
I'm almost a little more than half a year now.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
How'd that happen?
I was just squatting. It was just a bar too.
Damn.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't usually use a bar much either. I'll do like dumbbells in the front, but I just felt like doing it that day, and then I don't know. Just next day it just got worse. And then I was working. I work in a restaurant, so it was just like carrying trash bags and stuff. And it just got worse. And then PT for like 6 months. Nothing helped.
Really?
Yeah, injections, everything.
Are you like at the worst right now?
It's a little better, but it's definitely been worse before. Yeah.
Do you feel like you can see how it's going to get better, or are you still trying to find that light at the tunnel?
I've done this your stuff for a while here and there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it more consistently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so like there hasn't been any like heavy, like I haven't seen like an incline improvement like anytime recently. Like
Right.
maybe a little bit, but
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing to come up with like finding your solution is hitting your head on the wall enough times to realize what the real problem is. Like, really just, it takes trial and error. It takes thinking you got the right thing and then it wasn't. It takes like finding patterns to your pain, to the triggers of it, to where that shows up. Sometimes you'll feel like a madman on a whiteboard with like the 1,000 lines drawn. I got it. And then you realize it's completely not that. But once you can understand what your real problems are, what's going on, then the solution actually becomes really intuitive and clear for you normally. I think the go-tos that are clear are see your back's trainability. Can you train it at all, in any range, in any direction, in no range, isos? Can you tolerate any amount? And then near to the spine, near to the low back, is your upper back really, really tight? Are you super stiff in your shoulders? Do you feel like posture's been a problem forever? Or things of the hips that we're doing? Just look for where you're shockingly bad at something. That's a huge opportunity. That's what you want to find out. And just don't take it too like, I don't want to say don't take it too serious because you're living in pain, but don't put the weight of the world on figuring it out this week or in this workshop or in this try, but just accept that like pain is not meant to be permanent in you, you know? And as long as you don't accept that, because that's the only time it becomes lifelong is when people give up the spirit of trying to figure it out. And again, there's whole markets for helping you coast through life with chronic pain. Certain, you know, pain medicine, certain braces, certain weird gadgets they sell that are all right for the person who's like, it's just a matter of bad luck, age, that's life, whatever. So I was peak lost when I was 23 until like a couple of years later, but I think you'll be on a faster track. Yeah, don't beat yourself up. No, it's not easy. There's a lot of shy people in this room, but I know other people have been there for real, you know. It's, the breakthrough comes, it definitely does, if you just keep showing up, you know. I'm glad you're here, and I wouldn't have known that you were hurt because I was form checking you hard. I'm like, squeeze your glute, damn it, why aren't you? And I wouldn't have known trying your best, you know. But it's only 6 months in. How long you said you've been doing this stuff for like a little while, same time?
Yeah, I mean, same amount of time, kind of, but it was, like you said, like PT, you go there to tell you opposite of everything. So it's just like battling that, like, do I listen to them or am I listening to this? I don't know.
Yeah. Try your best to be curious, not confused. Like, try your best to not feel frustrated. This makes no sense. Instead, be like, this is really peculiar. I'm going to figure something out with this. There's going to be some clue. There's going to be some direction, somehow, sometime, you know, and just be stubborn in that. It'll get better. I know it. So, yeah, we'll keep in touch about that.
The hardest part for me has been not knowing what's working because the progress is so slow. Like you're saying, building evidence, building that trust. It's like I can try something for a few weeks and then maybe something's going to change. There's too many variables going on with life all at once. So what's your advice for finding out what's not?
What's the advice that what?
For finding out what's working and what's not to fix that.
I mean, it's going to take longer than you think. That's why the slogan, Alex, is, you know the slogan now. Come on, what's the tour name? You play the long game. What's the slogan? You guys know that one. God damn it. Yeah. Yeah, it's on the arm somewhere. Yeah, but the reason why I say that isn't just like as a cute saying, but it's because with enough time, it all starts to make sense. Even why certain things weren't working, but then also why some things are. There's no failure in trying something for like a month and then, okay, it didn't fix the pain, but you learned it. Exposed something else is really weak. It's super sensitive and tight. So in your example, what's something you've been doing, you're not sure if it's working yet?
I find out back extension holds. Some days I can feel my back getting stronger and like learning to trust. And then I might do it for like 4 days in a row. Not necessarily painful, but just kind of feels like nothing. And that's always really confusing for me.
Yeah.
This doesn't add to his question, a specific example.
Yeah, it fluctuates like a stock chart. It's like this for sure, but it's the macro. It's like your worst day in 2 years should be better than your best day right now, and the likelihood of pain is going to be so low. But the lateral imbalance circuit, so basically we're working everything from the side of our spine to the side of the hip, together squeezing it, and then we're going to slowly open it up. If you have disc injuries in your body, over the span of the next year or two, if it was chronic, you can start to get all these imbalances that throw your pelvis off. There's a lot of things that go into it. These are the most obvious muscular opportunities that we can work on. So we're going to do some of the stuff with the hip. We're going to be bending. We're going to be feeling stuff. So all I ask is that you just be very mindful how your body's feeling. Don't force it. Don't try to do anything super deep, and just see how it feels. I just want you guys to know, how does it feel? We're going to reach up, start standing. Let's go staggered feet. The side that is in front with the leg is going to be the hand that's down. So the back leg is the hand that's up. I want you to slide your arm down the front leg and then reach up with the top hand and come back down. Just a little reach. We're going to do about 5. Hold for 2 seconds, back down. We're just testing what does it feel like on the right side, and then we're going to see how does it feel like on the other. Try to squeeze the back glute and make it more strict. One more. Get a gauge of that. Clockwise, at that pace together, and then once we do 5 there, we're going to do 5 on the opposite. All the way through. Then we're going to do 5 just straight out lift. Try not to move the torso much. And then the last one's pretty tough. You start here, you rotate out, and then back. You're going to feel the deepest burn. of your hips. So we're gonna go through, that's why we need space all together. We're gonna face forward. Clockwise, so you're gonna reach out, then forward with the right leg. Let's go slow, up, reach it around. Good, and then back down. Try to exaggerate the motion at your own slow pace. Yep, and then down. Yep, so you're reaching out to the side as high as you can, and then reach up forward super slow. And make sure there's no point where you're going slow, then you rush the rest. Get as much as you can with it. No movement in the torso. Once you do 5 in that direction, you go the opposite. Real slow. Yeah, so with the clicks, if you feel very consistent, click, click at the same spot, I want you to stop just short of it and reverse out of it. So I wouldn't grind through the clicks or any deep pop. So once you've done 5 clockwise, 5 counterclockwise, the third one is 5 straight out, like that abductor machine. And don't just lift the top leg, try to almost open up both. If you push the leg that's on the ground out open too, you get a little further. Nice and slow, super slow on all of it. Okay, and that last one was tricky. So the last one is where you start up at the top position, you rotate behind, open, behind, but you keep the leg up the whole time. 5 really slow like this. Keep the knee up high the whole time. You rotate it behind you, then out to the side, super slow. So the first one is going to be up and around, so you're going to bring it out to me, touch your knee here, and then back in a circle, and then bring it back forward, bring the knee through. So that circle motion. So out, you can tap my hand, then bring it back, keep it high, and then bring the knee together, and that's that movement. So once you do 5 slow, you're going to do the opposite direction. Really good. Slow, keep it slow. I see some people rushing. And slow means every part of the movement is the same tempo, not just where it's easy. All right, really good. Okay, so this is training the hips in a similar area, but without motion now. So I'll just show the 3 steps we're gonna go through together. It's timed. Step 1 is only internal rotation. So you're just rotating on the knee, the foot stays there as high as you can get it. If this is an awkward position for your spine, or you just literally like, I don't understand how you do that, can't get it up, then you lean down on the elbow. This position will be easier for you. So you're going to lift 30 seconds, and then we're going to do stage 2, which is the knee and foot. So now both are off the ground. You're lifting and rotating. The third is just a kick out here. I would actually prefer everyone just lay down and hold as high as you can for 30 seconds. This is really easy. You wouldn't expect this to be a workout, but once you started with the hardest one, then you did this one, this is already burning like crazy. This entire area that might be super tight or tender, chronically sensitive, it's going to be just flooded and on fire, and it feels better to stretch after. So left knee behind, it's 90-90, and I'll help correct this before we start. We're ready to roll. So we're going to have 30 seconds at the beginning. Step 1 is just lifting the foot. You want more space here. Give yourself some space between the front heel and the back knee. So ready? We're going to lift up in 3, 2, 1. Lift the foot. Yep. As high as you can get it. Try to pick the toes up. There you go. There you go. If you're barely getting it up, try to turn away from the leg. Rotate your torso away from what's going on. That makes it a little easier. You guys are doing good. 10 seconds, as high as you can. Push the hip forward too. Extend the hip forward. All right, stage 2, lift up the knee. If you got to go on the elbow, lay down on the elbow. You can even lay down all the way on the arm. You can lay all the way down. Get it up. There you go. Right. Y'all doing good. 5 seconds, 5 seconds. Keep it up. All right, last stage. You're going to now lay down all the way and kick the leg out. Get your body straight.
Is it okay if I feel it like in my oblique here?
You will. That's kind of why I'm having people lay down so it's less of a challenge, because otherwise you're crunching.
No, but for the last one.
Oh, the last one. Yeah, same thing. Like you're contorting. The tighter your hips are, the more you have to compensate by crunching. You don't really want to. It's not likely to hurt you though, but that should improve. 5 seconds. Higher, higher, higher. Come on. And rest. There you go. 3 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up. Nice. There we go. As high as you can, try to curl the toes up. If you can, flex your toes up. And that back leg, extend the hip forward. Try to extend it forward a little bit. There you go. Solid work. Yep, facing forward. Make sure that back knee's not flexing. You're not using the hamstrings. Keep it more open, 90 degrees. All right, lift up the knee. Yeah, trying to stay forward. If it's uncomfortable crunching, that's where you go to the elbow. Make it easier, and then just lift higher. Good. If you feel like you're compensating the spine, you go on the elbow and then fight to lift it even higher. As high as you can, come on. Got 5 seconds. Some people doing the no hands. They know about it. I'm impressed. It's always got to be one. All right, third stage, kick out that leg. Now think about your alignment. Be in line with the front knee. Make sure everything's straight. And last thing, roll on the hip. Roll forward. Don't lean up facing the ceiling. You should be facing the wall. Yep. I would lay all the way down, not even the elbow. I'd lay all the way down and rotate. Internally rotate the leg. Toes to the ground. 3, 2, 1. That's it. So we went through moving the hips through a real slow motion. That was isometric, just squeezing it in a crazy burn. Now we're going into a really interesting one, pigeon strength. But we're going to be in the pigeon position, and the way it turns into strength is you just lift up the back knee and then hold. So it's basically all the weight on the glute, but you're up here. It's more than y'all signed up for, sorry. That's supposed to be exclusive content. But yeah, I got you. You're gonna want to push into the ground. Yeah, I'll help you out with that. So back leg straight. Let's all face forward. So I want a little less rotation. I know there's the pigeon where the front leg's 90. We want more tucked under. So almost sitting on the front heel. I would do less bend of the knee. Okay, let's all do right leg first, guys. Right leg first. Okay, so you got the option of staying on the back toes or lifting on the top of the back foot. Right, let's go for a minute. Starting now, lift the back knee up. A minute. Your cue is to try to lift your body up by pushing the knee into the ground. Front knee lift and hold. This is the only way I really go through stretches now, is through some sort of strength hold in it. It makes it potent. If you need, you could take some weight off. You could just hold the position and just think about pushing into the ground a little bit. Anyone going through an injured pain? Are you good or just hard? Okay. So this is a perfect example of the squeeze then stretch approach. If you did that completely fresh, it honestly might not have been that hard. You've been like, wait, why can I lift now when I did it last week and it killed me? It's the fact that you pre-fatigued, it's pumped up, you did the cars, then you did the outer hip drop set. Any kind of loaded stretch now is about to be super potent money. So that's why I like to do that before and then get into this, because now the easy thing is hard and you can really focus and it'll help the stretch last longer than just relaxing forever on it. So you guys looking good. Slightly hinge. Hinge slightly into the stretch, but perfectly flat back. If you were to think RDL, slightly into it. Chasing the shakes of the cakes. Come on, 5, 4, 3, 2. That's it. We're done. Good job. Nice. The side bending we did earlier, right? We're testing range. This is training a lot of the same tissue, but now just stabilizing, squeezing, not stretching. I want you guys to try to look as uniform as possible, as if you have two weights. Very slow, tall posture, just walking. We're going to all go together in a circle. If you need to drop out, I don't want you to get run over. You just enter the middle of the circle. Gently put it down and rest. But we're going to do a minute of a nice, steady, just tall, clear walk. Try not to lean. Nice and good posture. Both hands out. All right. Let's grab our weight. Let's try to get head up. Trying to lean forward. You're going to feel oblique working. You should feel low back a little bit on the opposite side. This is smooth, nice and tall. Head up. That turn really does something to you. Yep, still going now. Nice and perfect posture. Try to look like there's a weight in both hands. Try to keep the arms off your body. And break. Very safely, just plop it down. Woo! Who got a 50-pounder on them, huh? We're going to go back to the same thing that we tested with. We're going to just do now side bending. We're going to put the hand behind the head and slide down the leg. So remember, the leg that's in front, that's where the hand's going to slide down. So the leg in front's the hand down. You're going to squeeze the back glute. That's what locks your hip forward, keeps you from moving and cheating. You want it to be nice and still. And then we're going to rotate up to the ceiling and back down. Can almost rotate up to the ceiling as you go. Observe how it feels. It might feel a little bit better than when we started. Try to lean forward. That's why I really squeeze this leg and rotate. You don't have to move a lot to move a lot internally. The stuff we're going is so deep in us, even just an inch movement is a big stretch. We don't have to go super deep. Just keep it tight, rotate, come back down. So if you ever feel discrepancy or like some urge to just like stretch sideways and you can tell there's some kind of tightness, this is how I sandwich the circuit. Is I do a little bit of it in the beginning, then I work everything with the glutes intensely, then I do something stabilizing or tight, a side plank even, or that walk, get it warmed up, and then I go back and just hit a set or two. Good jobs. Try to slide down that hand tight. So when it comes to side bending, I just wouldn't jump into it and go intense with anything. I would warm up a lot with the hips and gentle over weeks and months. Just visit it. Is there a tightness there? What about this side? Okay, that feels better. Let me start gentle weight, 10 pounds, super slow, because that one people wreck themselves on, get really hurt. But it's an important imbalance to work out. This is the sort of stuff that keeps your hip higher, muscularly. Deep tightness in the front of the hip, for sure. Weakness and issues on the outside. The muscle, your pelvis, that's higher or lower. Below it is all the glute muscles, and then above it is all the deep intrinsic lateral spine muscles. So we're just trying to get to both. That's what, it's the beams, it's like the steel cables on the bridge, it's what's holding it with the tautness. So, easiest level possible, which is a high pad hold. This machine goes, see how high, I think that's about it. So obviously you could step out of the machine and just hold by this. It's the same as like a trap 3 raise, or you put your chest on an incline bench. The idea is that as soon as your shoulders are at all in front of your hips, that's spinal erectors and spinal tissue holding you up stable. So the more wow, what's going on here, guys? We missing a screw? Okay, secure. Be cautious on these. Check them out. We built them before we drove in a van with them thrown in the back. The more that your body's off the machine, the more weight you have to hold. So this might be like 90 pounds of a hold. If I was down here, this is like 60 pounds of a hold and so forth. So you can kind of gauge that. We're going to do a high pad hold. So we're going to hold here together for 1 minute, all at our own turn. Then we're gonna put the pad a little bit lower, wherever the best height is for us, and hold for a minute. And then we're gonna start with reps. Hinge reps, where you're not using the spine. Yeah, we gotta pull this one out of assembly. This ain't good. So hinge reps, and then we're gonna work on the full decompressed reps. So you guys have to be very honest about what you've done or not done yet to this point. If you haven't done reps yet and trained your spine opening up, I would probably just do the holds and try that out. I was fidgeting with that, but the machines are good. We're gonna start now, do a hold. We're going for 1 minute. Keep your hands on. If you want to try, you can go hands off, arms across the shoulders. If you know that you're good on this and you've been doing it, you go hands behind head. That's the most weight. We're gonna hold for 1 minute. People with the hands on, this is obviously you modulating how much weight of your own do you want to hold. If you're really sensitive and you haven't been in this, literally just hold it with your hands, take off majority of your weight. Keep a nice steady breath, focus on just smooth. Think about what you're trying to feel, both sides of the back. 3, 2, 1, nice work, let's hop up. You guys did great. Nice, that's 1 minute. Again, easiest is with the hands on the handle. You can control how much. When in doubt, do less than you think. If you want a little more work, go hands across the shoulders. If you're gonna do hands behind head, then really retract shoulder blades. Try to row and be up tall. Nice. And important cue, don't try to get up as high as you can, try to get as long as you can. Imagine there's a string from your head pulling you out. So for example, you're going a little too high, try to come down, and imagine you're getting elongated, stretched. Squeeze the glutes and come up. Nice. Should be using the glutes and the low back together, really good. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, good job, we did it. Phenomenal. We're gonna do single leg holds. This brings a unique opportunity. So there's certain muscles that specifically help with lateral stability in the spine. And you may feel good on 2 legs, but until you go 1 leg and it wants to tip you and you get to feel the diagonal little multifidus, rotatorus, all these little fancy muscles, that's what keeps you level. So we're testing that out. We're gonna do 45 seconds on the left and 45 on the right. Good, remember the cue, get long, like a string from your head, not high. You're not trying to stay up, you're trying to stay as long as possible. 5, 3, 2, 1, good work. Squeezing the glutes. Should feel it between the glutes and the low back together. Let's work. Focus on the breath, keep it nice and smooth, nice and relaxed. A little bit higher if you can, nice and long. You're doing really good. It's not easy. Nice. A little bit lower, less arching and more long. Try to get pulled out to here. Okay, so reps. We need the pads about at the hip so you have some room to go over it. And we're going to go assisted together. Hinge rep means that the back isn't bending, it's only the hips. It'll stretch the hamstrings, and then you come back up. If you haven't done it before, definitely use the handles just to feel the motion. The pad should be about right at the hip crease, maybe a little lower. Try 5 like that. Over time, you can go a little bit more, stretch the hamstrings a little bit more. I would have hands across the shoulders, elbows in front, so then they go down towards the ground. Not as low as you can. Keep that back flat, super flat. Embracing spinal flexion. So now treating the spine piece by piece. Letting it decompress. Like we said in the little lunch talk, decompression comes at the bottom when you're inverted. So if you're ready for it, if you feel safe for it, you can try some reps. I would use your hands. Slowly come down. Head to the ground. Try to go head down, chin down on the way down, and then chin up on the way up. Use assistance as needed. Yeah, try to hang at the bottom with the elbows if possible, if you feel good for it. Anything over 10 is good. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just got to 2 minutes on the back section hole.
Yeah.
Is it fine if sometimes my leg is tingling?
Yeah, so if you think about that, the whole space for tingling likely related to the nerves somewhat to some degree. As soon as you contract all the tissue in the backside of your body, this back extension hold trains everything from hamstrings to the middle of your back, pretty much, from here all the way down to here. Everything squeezes, which leaves less space. So if something has any swelling along the path of your nerve, whether it's in the actual nerve root by the spine, down the glute, towards the hamstring, within the fascia, the container, tissue that's around the nerves, if it's at all close to being compressed, that squeeze of contraction will compress it likely. That doesn't mean you're injuring it. It's not likely with an iso hold. If you're doing this and you feel a little tingle, that's way different than if you were like kicking a ball and you stretched the nerve, or you do something intense through range. That's going to irritate it. So if you're on the cusp where like this feels kind of good, but not fully, that's honestly the normal starting point. And you just always do less than you think you can do. If your strength level is to do 2 minutes, but the tolerance to where it doesn't feel like electrocution on the right side of your body is a minute, just do 50 seconds. And let that gap close of what your tissue can handle tolerance-wise versus the strength. You want that to slowly come closer. So if this doesn't feel perfect yet, that's okay. This should be something you start to do slightly more here and there throughout the years. The next 2 years, get to where all this stuff is pretty easy and it's just like squats or just like push-ups. The main thing I want you to take away is just there's complete untapped areas that you can train that make a big difference over time. And all these areas that may be chronic problems, you can do more than just yanking on them and stretching them, or you can do more than just icing them or avoiding them. So if you have any more questions, we're a little bit over the time. I think we're probably all a little bit delirious tired at this point, and I appreciate y'all coming on a nighttime. We've never been to Boston. This was really, really cool. I just wanted to make sure y'all know we really, really appreciate it. This is the first stop of this whole tour that we're doing, and we're still learning how to set up in different spaces. So if there's any question you didn't have answered, feel free to come up and, I'd like to say hi before y'all leave, but I think we're at that time. Feel free to message, feel free to hit us up. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you guys at some point in the future, and that if you're dealing with something here at least gave you a trail of something else to look at and you'd start to learn more about the problem. I just want you guys to be good, truly. More than interesting stuff on the internet, I just am in this because I want people who are stuck to no longer be stuck. So thank you guys for coming. It means a lot. So.
You wouldn't know how important it is to, it would help other people. We're always so afraid of, this is crunchy, or, this is weird, or this is sideways, but...
The further I go into this, and the more rounds of people that I meet and see patterns outside of just oh, your hip's tight, or that's obviously a weakness, it's becoming more and more and more and more apparent that this is so much less of a movement problem for most people.
Well,
There's an element of that always, but it's always including some psychosomatic or always including some sort of lifestyle environment issue.
I kind of saw it because I originally went to school for exercise science, and I like the principles made sense of what you did. I really like the tolerance talk about building tolerance and the tissue tolerance, and so I've modified the program a little bit.
As it should be, yeah.
I slowly progressing it back.
Yeah, man. I think the whole point is principles. Every program, if I put out, is really an excuse to get people thinking of a certain direction of things. If you ever say these 10 are the blueprint of the exact of what you should do, it's just sales at that point, because it's always
it's gonna
depends,
on your body,
where you're at.
I want to
you had back injuries?
I bursted disc in college, L5S1, the classic, with it bursted and it's bulging or something.
Okay.
So, doctor was like, you shouldn't jump again. I was like, well, fuck you, I want to jump.
So,
dropped out of college, started coaching.
Wow.
So that was
you got this far without a college degree.
Oh yeah.
How'd you get a CSCS? You don't have the college degree. You still are in these gyms. Dope, dude. Me too. So, and then there was a whole lot where I just I couldn't fix my own problem, and I was at these sports medicine conferences, and I'm literally hurt. And I'm here with a little poster as a young undergrad helping with research. And I'm like, well, the force plate readings of a landing show that my herniated disc is fucked up right now, but I don't know how to fix it. And it was just like, I worked at a PT clinic too, and I was headed down that route, and I just couldn't fix my own problem. And once you go through that, you're like, all right, well, so I just want to feel good. Like,
Keep asking people around you, like, well, do this, and you're like, I've heard that before, I've done it.
yeah.
Been doing this for like years and years and years. It's, you kind of gotta work your way.
Yeah, once you understand how to learn for yourself and test it and like work with kids and see the real application of it too in groups, that's what it's about.
It's it's the highest injury sport that's non-contact for non like life-threatening stuff. So like,
Right.
ankles, knees, backs. They did like a study, like you have the lowest life expectancy of a sport of all sports is volleyball.
That's
something.
a really interesting stat because
gotta
that
find
shows
that.
the chain reaction effect. That shows all it takes is a little chronic breakdown, ankle, a little to hip, the knee. Now movement's gone. Now your whole hobby of sports is gone, or whatever longevity starts to get altered. That's
When
real.
you're like older, like high like death chance of like falling down and stuff, and if you
Yeah.
can't do the basics, if you're hitting the front.
That's a kind of crazy stat.
Yeah.
Damn.
I gotta find that because I want to make sure. I think it might have been number one for non-contact.
When I was a tech at a PT clinic, my job was to just document the billing for insurance.
Yeah.
And I was surprised how much of the procedure protocol that the PTs were taking, they were geared on making sure you can bill it.
Exactly.
They like take them do something, kind of rub their shoulder for 2 minutes, like, all right, bill it for manual massage. I'm like, okay.
Exactly. Like recent, I've started like doing the practices that you have. When you start, are you meant to feel the slight flare up in the beginning?
Well, I would hope that you don't have to, but yeah, I mean, how long have you had issues with your back?
It's been about like 4 years now.
Okay. So it's like every month that goes into the chronic back loop, you probably became slightly less out of tune, slightly less in tune with your back, to the point where you're avoiding a little bit more just to not feel it at all. You're using it less in direct ways. You're good, bro.
Thanks.
And so it's like, when you go multi-year into having shutdown and dysfunction, things are atrophying, things might be spasming, like, it's no longer like, I want to feel muscle contract the bicep, boom, okay, I'm sore, good, boom. It's like, if you use it, you're going to feel this ambiguous, good soreness, weird tightness, this ache. And so a big part of it is take the messy communication that it starts off with, meaning you try to do something very little, and then you kind of are hurt, but it felt kind of good, sore. And just like, try your best to tailor to where, what's the most I can do without pain afterwards? And it might be something so minuscule. And you're like, what? That's where I'm at, and that's where you're at. But
Start there.
yeah, the goal isn't to just blast into a flare-up ASAP, you know? But it's almost inevitable if you were avoidant. If you literally started moving weird, and you stopped doing certain lifts, and you stopped moving your spine, then it's like, now you're trying to figure out, is it safe for me to go this deep, or is it safe for me to go this deep? It's like, you're probably going to just cross the line a few times.
Yeah, it like hurts every time I do it the next day, so I'm like I go to the gym, do that, and then like I'm out for like a couple days. I just do yoga every day.
There's clues in it though.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, don't be so stubborn that you just keep putting yourself in the same position. If you keep doing this exercise and get the same exact soreness, there's something to learn there. Like, okay, there's something about that. Either the position or what's stretching when I'm doing it, or something is getting exposed. And maybe the answer isn't to do that exercise, but to do something, another exercise that trains that area, you know? It's like, the simple example that we're gonna do today is like stretching the glutes. Used to seem so needed for me because they were so tight. And every time I did it, it felt so good, and then it felt so bad the next day. So I'm like, okay, right area, wrong approach. Something felt really important about doing that, but it's definitely not the right level.
What else do you do?
You find different angles, different approaches, you know, because that's where you get these false dichotomies of like, okay, using your back in fitness always just meant deadlifts or like rows, and it's like, train your back. But if you can't do deadlifts, then it's like, well, what do? You just wear a belt during your squats and avoid your back. Meanwhile, there's exercises like back extension or certain reverse hypers or other ways to still prepare it, but not test it with a 405 max lift, you know?
So even like stretching can lead to like flares.
Stretching is, I'm just gonna toss this because it's a little disruptive. Stretching is more likely to lead to flares probably than strengthening. Yeah. Stretching is the test.
So you got to do the combination with these exercises.
Yeah, if you could really only do one, I would squeeze something and get a pump there before I start pulling on it.
Oh.
You know?
So how do you, like, if you're sore, like say after I do the head stuff, I'm sore the next day, do I stretch? Do I do more contraction, or do I just do nothing?
Like, for example, after training something like this, like you might have overdone it, you're gonna have to rest it out for a little bit no matter what. Stretching probably is not much of the answer. Like a bad soreness, like pain.
Good soreness is that. Like it's sore and your muscles get tight. And because of that, like my back might.
You could you could lightly stretch, but I mean that's gonna ride out however it's gonna kind of ride out. I don't think
There's no way to like speed it up, I guess.
heat, walk around, motion, general like light stuff for sure. It's better than just sitting and waiting, but I've never gotten soreness, like bad soreness, to go away fast. Like intense soreness, that just always kind of took a couple days, but I would probably lean more towards just like gentle movement and stretching, but I don't have a secret on that, honestly. I know what you mean though. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your help.
Thanks, bro.
I gotta head out, but like the work you do, it like really helps people. Like it actually, like you probably already know, like all the testimonials you get and everything like that, but like it really helps.
Thanks,
Like
bro.
it's not like it's serious work that you people have. So thank you about that. Yeah.
Hey, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yes, sir.
So much. Appreciate all the stuff.
Thanks, bro.
Really appreciate it.
Means a lot.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, dog. Thank you for coming. Thanks,
So
dude.
much. Hope it's gonna change my life. Hopefully.
I appreciate it, bro.
Do you have any tips on like traveling? You don't have access to like protection. As someone who likes to go like camping, so I'm just kind of worried like.
You gotta get one of those straps. One of those, I don't know if you've ever seen them.
Yeah.
They sell like these straps you can attach to stuff, but find something that you can just lean over, like a swing set or something. Just get used to feeling a low back burn a couple times a week. You can do the seated one too. Are you familiar with that? Where you, if you have a chair, you can just lean forward the same way and lean here. The main thing, you have to keep your back super flat. And that's a test now of your groin and hamstrings. But even if you're at work, or you're trying to think of this term of like making deposits very slowly, sneaking it in to feel a little warmed up. As soon as your shoulder's in front of your hips and your back's flat, you're putting the same type of deposit we just did. So if you did holds for like a minute at a table, at a chair, wherever you're at, you could look like you're still working, doing whatever. It's gonna start to burn and put some contraction in. That's what you want, you know. Getting to the reps and really training it harder, it's hard without equipment, you know. But yeah, just find a way. Find a way to just feel it a little bit and stay consistent, you know. Yeah, bro. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you. Thank you. Hi, Marion. You guys are awesome. Wow. Beautiful. Thank y'all.
Yeah, I've been really good too.
Yeah. How long?
About a year.
Yeah. It's like taking over life. Yeah. How are you feeling in terms of like what you've done so far? How long have you been kind of onto this? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of like,
Lost my job and everything.
really, what were you doing?
IT.
Damn, so it wasn't like labor, so just to that point, it's really destroying.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me work remote and all like that, you know, so I'm trying to like work remote and stuff. So I think that's why I got laid off.
Yeah.
But my pain is usually just like glutes. I don't know what it is.
Just come up pretty fast on you, or did something happen, or is it pretty steady?
I got very sedentary for a while.
Yeah.
I started laying down a lot.
Yeah.
And I found you. So I'm hoping that maybe this is all connected. And if I strengthen up the upper back,
It has to be.
the glutes, you know?
It has to be. I know, man. Part of the weird thing of the past couple of years for me of doing this stuff is like I've seen so many stories of people that have been at a rock bottom and then like a hallelujah breakthrough that it kind of numbs me to, I guess, like how confusing and lost it gets when you're just dead in the thick of it. Because to me, I think I say things so plainly because I've just seen it so many times. Like, if you just go for enough time and you start to learn this stuff and you start to apply just very gentle work towards it, it always improves. It may not fix overnight, it may not fix everything. Aspects of it always improve, and then it's like, it's easy when it's easy. And when you're at the place that you're at, it's just pure faith. It's like just blind, like you're making decisions on the direction of your life, basically, because there's nothing I can say that's going to change the fact that shit
What do you think
hurts.
it could be, like, it comes and goes and stuff like that?
Well, it could be related to the spine, to something. Most of us over the age of 30 have some already herniated disc or some kind of bulge, some movement of spinal tissue, and that doesn't mean symptoms, so it's not like a death sentence of that. It could be compensations that built over years of just sitting in a chair. That's a lot of stuff that's like a recipe for disaster for us. Sometimes all it takes is like a bad episode of life or some kind of stress or some sort of physical ailment or some small injury somewhere that starts this like cataclysm of a tightness that's like a response, and then your body learns a weird pattern and a weird way to be set up, you know? And it feels like maybe it's out of nowhere, and because of that you don't know the pure answer to it, but like it's not just for no reason, you know? It's not just, you're gonna go to the doctor, and if you don't fit a criteria of, okay, your discs look good, your bones look good, there's nothing really you would operate on, we don't really know.
They said I got like medium, like determined disc. But I don't think that's what it is. My pain is not up here. It's all down
That's
here.
never what it is. So if someone has the thing right here, that one issue, their pain isn't just right there, it's all over. We just only look at the obvious breakdown. But all the tissue that connects, all that experiences the problems. But that's actually the source of it. People have that issue, one little bulge or one degenerative disc or something very specific. They can even fix that, and there's still issues everywhere because the whole hasn't been worked. It hasn't been stimulated. The whole past year, what were you doing in terms of this stuff? You went to physical therapy?
I was solitary.
Okay.
Basically just laying down.
Yeah.
So I made it worse.
Okay. How'd you
So
feel?
this year, like we went to vacation to Mexico, and I just said, fuck it, I can't look like this anymore. And I just started walking.
Good.
And I started with like, 5-minute walks, 10 minutes. I'm up to 2 miles now.
Yeah.
Then I found you, and then I just started. I'm in the program 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you're in the program?
Like 30,
Okay.
maybe 30 seconds.
Have you gotten in the community and read through some of that stuff in the Discord
I
and
just
stuff?
joined like 2 days ago, but I've been looking at your Instagram and stuff for like a couple months now.
I'm glad you found it at this point and not later. I understand, bro. Like,
It's affected us.
I know.
She's been going through it too.
Yeah. You're gonna get to a different place, man. I promise you. The journey to it may have some ups and downs, and even if it's not exactly the exercise listed as I tell you, or you don't find the breakthrough at this workshop of, oh, this is my weak link, or this is my problem, you're going from a mystery and just pain every day to starting to figure out there's some rhythm to it, there's some rhyme to it. There's like, okay, it hurts more on one side, or when I did that weird stretch Brendan showed me, it's like feels a little bit warmed up and supported, but please do not enter the route of like, you can never give up. There's no point even thinking about it, because giving up on that is just like life is about to tank, because then you have to go the route of just numbing it. And when you do that, it's just going to get so much worse, and that's when people end up like at a rock bottom.
I'm moving now, so I'm moving more than before.
Yeah.
Keep doing walking, doing that.
This is your life mission.
Yeah.
This is what your life is about.
Yeah.
And you're gonna do it. It's gonna have to be like, try your best to be in a neutral emotion whenever it's not excruciating and it's not too heavy. Just be like, okay, I'm curious about this. Like, what is it? And not be angrily trying to like get it away. Something about that almost elongates the journey for people. I've seen it. And so if you have your whole day and this is your main mission, like it might be 2 or 3 months, but you're gonna turn a corner that's real. You're gonna understand this a lot better, and you're gonna be on the other side where it's like it's not fixed, but your life is getting back. You know, and I'm sorry you're going through it for real, and I understand. I dropped out of school, my whole career was lost, and I'm a young dude. It's like, why am I whatever? I can always turn it around, but I know this story well, and it reveals what kind of person you are and the people around you are, and so. Please stay in touch, as I will respond.
Hope you remember me, Freddie.
Freddie.
So if I hit you up,
I will, man.
Appreciate it.
Freddie, I appreciate it. For real, you're going to get better. I really mean it. And you're early in the journey. I'm so grateful that you found this and that you have people with you. Like,
I'm grateful.
you're going to get better. I understand. I wish I had more time to just sit with you for an hour and talk about it and just remember and pull stuff to talk, but we'll get to talk, man.
You think that's a possibility if we connect?
Yeah. Shoot me a message on that.
All right.
Yeah.
If I give you my information now or later?
You can shoot me on Instagram. I'll see you. Do you have an Instagram?
I do. I'm not.
Where'd you find me on it?
I found you on YouTube and Instagram.
Okay. If you shoot me a message or Discord.
All right.
My word.
All right, cool.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You too. Thank you. See you guys.
I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thank you, guys.
I'm in PT school and I've been going through 2 herniations for like
Oh,
a year.
damn.
And I kind of just felt like a failure because like I was learning how to fix it, but like none of the traditional methods were really like working.
Could you hear me explain my story a little bit with it? That's literally my story.
Really?
I didn't make it to PT school, but I was trying to become one. And I was at conferences for sports medicine and like working at clinics as a tech. And I was fucked up. And I'm like, you feel like a, what's the term? Imposter syndrome, and you're also living in pain.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I get it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That's pretty much what I've been going through and dealing with patients every day and kind of like working with them and then feeling like I was putting myself second and like nothing that I was doing was working for me, but then I found your stuff and it just gave me a whole new perspective on everything, and I've done a lot of research and stuff's been helping me, and I just want to say thank you because I'm going to use all this stuff going forward with my people in the future and try to help them.
It helps me a lot for you to say that because I was in your shoes and I'm like, it just feels like senseless confusion, and people are going to be saying thank you the same way you're saying thank you to me, and that's the whole point of this whole thing. So it means a lot to me. I thank you. Thanks, Gabby. Appreciate it. Wish you the
Safe
best.
travels back to New York.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, man. Hey.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Thanks, bro. Good for
So I was like a powerlifter in college, and then just like 4 years ago, basically like I got checked out last year, but I was like partially torn hip labrum, and honestly, your videos and the back extension machine like changed me. Doing the back extension machine, like 2-minute holds. I woke up like a year ago with no pain for the first time in like literally like 3-4 years. But I still have some pain here and there, and it's still like I can run normally, and like can usually sprint, but like sometimes I still have pain lingering. And sometimes I get on my left side too, which is weird because like for 3-4 years it's always been on my right. And it's in like the buttocks area. It's not like up in the back.
But I had the same. It started to be like more SI joint into like the center of the pelvis
so
for me.
I thought it was sciatica, and I'd always just be like, oh, I have sciatica, whatever.
You think it's towards that area?
Yeah, like
sacrum.
I would always point to like the doctors, and I'd be like, it's right here.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was all over.
Have you seen single leg reverse hyper that I've shown? It's on the bench. You go here and just lift up and hold. Just that short range squeeze right where it connects glute and low back. That sacrum area can honestly almost get irritated a little bit with the back extension because it stretches it. The holds are good, but I would really strengthen, get a pump in everything glute and low back, squeezing short. I would do like 30 reps on each of that. I had that for a long time, but I didn't mean to cut you off.
But yeah, I'll do that more. But like, that's fine.
You're in a journey.
Yeah, dude. But I'm telling you, I was telling whoever I was paired with, like this machine is like changed everything. So
it's always been in those gyms and no one used them. It's
I
like,
know, dude, never touched it. I didn't even know what it was for until I saw your video. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks for everything.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling me. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Hey, how are you?
Bro, I just wanted to say thank you because if it wasn't for you telling me to do these fucking things, I would be fucked right now. Absolutely fucking cooked. Yeah, totally. Like you've had a massive, positive impact on my life, and I just had to say thank you, bro, because I would literally be fucked right now. So I've been making massive improvements, and I've still been getting flare-ups, but every flare-up gets a little bit better, and it's like slowly progressing over time. So I just wanted to ask, where are you at now? Like, are you still like when you get on a flight, you get off it? Are you still like worried about getting flare-up? Like, where are you at?
I'm human that like doing unhealthy things feels unhealthy, but it's not a fear of any setback with that. No, I maybe last year I had this like thing behind my knee that I didn't understand how to work on, and the back stitching is kind of like an arm bar for the knee. It kind of stretches that.
Yeah.
So I had to go like 6 months of not doing back stitching. I started to feel, it doesn't just feel as good. It wasn't pain yet, but it was like I'm losing. It's like I'm starting to go near kryptonite. I'm losing my superpower. Why's my back feeling achy in the chair? And that period, it took a few months to build back after doing it again. And I was like, okay, I feel protected. But it's just a reminder, like that you got to train, you got to preserve what you want to keep. You got to invest where it matters. But like in my normal life, just by maintaining, and I don't feel anything. So I think your hunch of that this could actually become a non-factor in your life is correct. You're gonna get there, you know. And you got the right mentality. It's not about flare up and no flare up. My last flare up was a year and a half ago, and it lasted a day. It was scary because I'm already low back ability, but it was a day and then nothing. You know, so it's like that's all it is. Life doesn't have to be perfect. Just progress is clear.
Fuck yeah, bro.
It means a lot. Thank you for telling me, dude.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. For real, man. You're gonna get better, bro. I understand. Thank you for sharing. You know what's funny is like half the people have a story, but like no one's in the position to really like
everything you say, it's like verbatim. It's where like I've just all the videos, everything is like the same. You know, just been told the same things. That's what you're always saying. Like you've been told to do the same thing. I've been doing that. You know, they always tell you stabilize the core, and it's just like that's all they tell you. Though. They don't give you anything else.
Yeah, bro.
So I'll try to keep doing this. But no, like even like this stuff, like I can feel the flare like a little bit, but it's like everything. Like, you know, I'm seeing people like go put the dumbbells down, they get bent down. I'm not even able to do that.
I wasn't able when I was in it either. I understand, and I think everyone gets a little extra energy here to do more than they really should. But even if it's not something I teach you, I just hope that you take away like the way of viewing this stuff. That you know you're going to find it, and there's some reverse engineering that can be done. Whether it's training or maybe it might be a life thing, it's like sleeping or like where you live or where something that changes that makes you feel a little bit better, they can get more progress. But I do believe in this stuff, obviously, but I just want you to know like your mentality is going to dictate how this really goes for you. And you're 23, like I know what it's like at 23 to be in it, bro.
Yeah, everybody's like, you're so young. Like, it's like,
it almost makes it worse.
It makes it so much worse.
Yeah. I know. You're gonna get there, bro. You're gonna get there. Thank you.
Thank you,
Means a lot, bro. Thanks.
Good day.
See you, man.
Hi, I'm Dean.
Dean, it's good to meet you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. So I registered for your program 3 months ago, and I've been really religiously following it. So I do feel it's made a huge improvement, including on like lifelong. Like I felt like my one hip was risen up for a long time.
Okay.
And so anyway, I feel it's like made a huge improvement. Before I had a flare up 3 months ago, I had a little instability in my back, and I feel that I've like stabilized it and it's all fine. But I do still feel like there's like still kind of a chronic issue in my sacrum. Like, at what point do I just kind of say, all right, I'm just managing long term? Okay.
Never. Because it's either you manage it forever or you work on it forever to keep getting better. So it's like the accepting that it's just never going to go away. It's just kind of like you setting a goal, but just a little bit lower. And you can imagine this way too with stuff like a sacrum. There's less blood flow because there's less muscles there. Like when you go to really low back, right where it meets the glute, you can almost press bones, right? The reason you can press bones is because there's not many layers of muscle there. So the amount of time and work it can take to stabilize stuff that's more bony, cartilage, and ligaments holding together, it's a different time frame, and it takes just a different patience versus If your issue is really just the middle of your low back there, and you get some pump, you get some holds, you do months, it feels good, it feels stable, because that's right where the blood flow goes, that's where everything stabilizes. But if it's more towards, you know, that sacrum area, that takes a longer time. But I wouldn't accept it as, especially when you Google like sacrum pain, it's just injections. Because there seems like there's nothing to do, but there's more stuff. There's more stuff. I would really focus on the glutes in different ways, like everything we did today.
Well, I do find, like if I squeeze my glutes, it almost is like the pain goes away. So.
This is your perfect clue. So now imagine, if it's that related, then the resting tone of it matters, like how tight it is just sitting, or how strong it feels to just move around must matter too. You can't imagine that having a stronger, more blood flow, more easily usable outer glute that you can stretch and do all these things with. If that were better, there's no way that bony part of the area doesn't feel better if you can immediately give this like artificial improvement. Now that's just how I view about all these things, use it as a direction, but I'm a toxic optimistic guy. So I will always, to the death, find the way that improvement, at least a little better, and that's enough for me, you know, but.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. And I'm hoping, for me, the long game, I'm 64, and my father was 92 when he just died recently, so I feel like, okay, the next 30 years I need to kind of, so that's why I'm trying to build from now.
Yeah. And you're young and robust, and like I said, you're moving and doing things, and it's like you're on the track.
Yeah,
you're doing really good.
Well, I feel like I've been involved with fitness. I mean, as an amateur, but like just my whole life. So that kind of at this point still a little echo.
Good.
Stuff.
Nah, it shows. It definitely shows. I would just every day is a day to clock in and do something towards it, and just be grateful that we can work on it. You know, it sounds like you're over the cusp of where it's like an unsolvable mystery. You're making progress, you said. You just have some lingering stuff that's like, is that going to get better or not? That's a different level to the game. But, you know, in a year, you're still going to be the same guy that wants to train and feel better. You know, so no point in accepting it won't get better. You're going to be here next year, and likely a lot of things will improve with that far. You're 2 months in, 3 months in? That's just when stuff starts showing, really.
From June.
Yeah, no, you're in a good spot. You're in a good spot. You're gonna get better.
Yeah, great.
I'm glad you came.
Yeah,
you did amazing.
Yeah,
it was good to see you. Thanks for sharing the story.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up, bro?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Phenomenal.
Two things. Just one, like, I know you mentioned you had a hip shift
Yeah.
and an imbalance. I think that's like my biggest problem right now. And I only had one PT like figure out things that can get me out of it, and like that breathing stuff, along with like a hip shift, has helped a ton.
Nice.
What helped you?
Well, some of the stuff we did with the lateral, bigger muscle stuff. I think I had to get like confident enough in where I was in pain to where I could stop doing the things that led to it. Because like even you sit, do you see how you're standing?
No, I'm
right? Like there is some sort of preference, right? And I was the same way all the time. And when I got healthy enough and strong enough that like I could just sit however in a chair and just whichever direction, that helped me not have, I think, the underlying like reps in the wrong direction. But I would say a lot of the hip stuff, outside and inside, like really deep groin here, like holds, squeezing the knees together like the adductor machine, doing holds here, really squeezing the crap out of it, getting really strong, really far out with the stuff we did. The gentle side bending stuff and single leg back extension really helped. Those are all the movement things. I think you're onto something with the breath.
It's crazy.
Because the diaphragm and pelvic floor and the way it connects to everything around the rib cage, like it might be damn near impossible to fully fix that if you don't get to that. So I'm a student in that. I'm honestly not that wise to it yet. I probably still have a little bit, but I don't feel it.
It's something that I just haven't been able to get over that hump. And also, I'm cross-symptomatic, nerve-wise. So like, pain's on the left side. If I can't do it now because I'm so like balanced when I stand, but if I'm sitting with no support, previously, before I got out of the nerve pain, my left leg obviously would hurt because it's on the left side, but my right side also triggers the pain on the left side. And I just haven't figured it out.
Well, it doesn't always have to be as simple as just like nerve, boom. It could literally be you move your other leg and that causes some tension at your hip, pelvic area, which has to do that. Yeah.
But I'm just, figuring it out every day.
Have you found any like really obvious discrepancy of a strength or kind of stretch difference? Whether the inside of the thighs, the front, the groin, like anything?
Yeah, the pigeon stretches.
Is there a big difference?
There's a big difference between right and left side.
Okay.
And I feel really good after doing the left side.
Yeah.
So I just think I'm just closing up that left side.
Yeah. So my thinking is like, we could try to be a mastermind to pinpoint what is the cause, or we could just follow some sense of clue that's like, hey, this is worse than that. This feels better when I do it. Let's see what happens when I try to bring these up as close as I can. And then you solve some element of the problem, then let's see what's left. And then you can see a little bit more of a refined like view, you know? Because it's so, when you get to injuries here, if you hurt your wrist, it's a wrist problem. Maybe a little bit of something here, but it's a hand and it's a wrist problem. Once it's this, everything from your breath to your upper back, which is posture, then to your hamstrings, it's all gonna get all mumbo jumbo. So take the obvious things. I think you're really right on the breath, though. I would keep looking on that. And even anything, even the things that we do, if we do like a full range split squat, anything that tests the position with your pelvis to stay neutral, get into it, and then do breath, like deep diaphragmatic, and work the stability of your rib cage down, all that stuff. So, yeah, man. Well,
I just appreciate everything too. Like,
thank you.
Back in the gym. Like,
really, I appreciate that.
Like, I don't think I could live day to day just in pain without that.
Thanks, bro.
So, appreciate everything. Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks.
Means a lot for me. Thank you. Hey, bro.
How's it going? Devin.
Thanks
again
good to
for
meet
coming
you.
out. It's great to meet you.
Thank you. You too.
I had a quick question about just back stiffness in general. If I brace and am strong for like a full range of motion, like basically neutral spine, it's a little painful but doable. As soon as I got any slight variation, I was just wondering, like, I feel like the ISOs really help, the ISO holds. Is it just a matter of time before that like sort of constant tension and spasm? You talk about like,
it's on one side more so.
It's more on the right, but it's really on both. You talk about like your back spasms because it doesn't trust itself essentially. Does it just go away with time?
It's guarding.
Truly just playing the long game.
Tightness is like the last thing to usually go. The first thing that improves for people is usually sensitivity, meaning like, can you contract and feel no pain? So if you can do, some people can't do an iso hold without pain. Just contractions like spasm or pain. If they can do an iso hold and it starts to feel better to train it, well then they get less sensitivity. Then it's like, can you handle a pump? Can you handle swelling in there? You ever gotten a low back pump?
Yeah.
Was it okay? Obviously it feels tight in that.
It's kind of interesting. It like feels good and also bad.
Yeah.
And it's mostly just like the next morning is like very stiff, and I basically just move all day as much as I can, which helps. But it feels like a constant reset.
That'll improve the ability to get a pump and feel like a flush out of blood flow. Tightness is the last thing. I can tell you from people that I've worked like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, everything feels better. The only semblance of it still not being right is tightness. And that's slowly some days getting better. But it's just, I don't know the mechanism of why. I think that might be, some guarding effect of the nervous system or something with the nerves, but it takes time on that. But as long as you're able to do more over time, don't over obsess about the few symptomatic reminders that you're not out the clear yet. Just like focus on what's improving. Have faith that that stuff will too. But tightness, for sure is.
That's actually really encouraging. I didn't know that because I feel like I'm decent at the exercises. I can get up to certain rep ranges over time. It's always that last.
Dude, I had tightness till last year or something, and I've been out of pain for 3 years. Like I don't know what it is about
I think
that.
you dropped the video that said you got to do the 2-minute hold before you start doing reps, and that really resonated because I was doing reps and then I could only hold for like a minute for
and
true max.
Keep
I got to go back to it.
And if you're trying to avoid triggering the tightness, I would be very cautious on going through range. So whenever you're going to get the tight response the next day is when you're likely to have overstretched the rubber band. So that's your muscle. If it's sensitive and has tears in it, You stretch a rubber band that has tears in it, the tears get even worse.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that with tissue that is all jagged and dysfunctional. You can usually do iso holds and maybe you get some tightness, but overdoing range, I bet I can make you tight as hell tomorrow, and I'll just have you go as deep as possible. You know, something about that is like signals off. He's doing too much. We need to stiffen up. That's how I viewed it after years of tightness in my body. Was like, okay, it's literally trying to resist that. It's trying to tell me to stop.
That's really encouraging.
Yeah.
One quick thing. Have you ever heard of like trauma release exercise, TRE?
I think I've heard something of it, but maybe not that specifically.
So I'm gonna look into it. It's basically like kind of what you said about your back not trusting you. He frames it as like fear.
Yeah.
Your body is scared,
Yeah.
so your nervous system is just basically destroyed.
Yeah.
And it's just like a weird sort of exercise I found.
Yeah. I think they're both true.
It's been vaguely helpful, and it resonates in terms of what you said with the your back is guarding you. You have to let your body release.
Trying to build evidence. You're trying to literally like out-convince fear that it's safer to do that, whether it's through exercise or it's through something in more of a psychosomatic, like trauma-based thing, you know? Yeah, you're gonna get there.
Really appreciate all
Thank
your
you.
help.
Yes, sir. Means a lot. Thank you for coming. Thank you for telling me. I appreciate you.
Yes, I was last year in New York.
Yes, he did. I knew it. I knew it from the beginning, bro.
Really? Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I just want to say thank you, and I'm really grateful that I could come here.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah. So.
Where do you live?
I'm from Slovenia.
You don't live in the U.S.?
No, I just work for over the summer in U.S. and up in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Yeah, so I came from New Hampshire today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bro,
So
I remember you.
It's really good that you came to Boston because it's not so far. Like,
Yeah.
New York is further away.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, dude.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Where did you live when you were in New York?
Sorry?
Where did you live in New Hampshire when we had the workshop in New York?
That's when I finished work, and then that was after work, yeah.
Respect. Yeah. Hear you, brother. Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
I remembered as soon as I saw you. Thanks, bro.
Thank
Hope
you.
you're well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congrats on
Come
everything.
to Europe, I will come.
Oh, it will happen eventually, for sure.
Eventually.
Slovenia?
Yeah, but anywhere in Europe, it's probably I can come.
I mean, mine is like, because I program it, and on your programs I have two. On your programs it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and obviously like you're open to it being different.
Yeah.
But like if I'm going heavy, and I'm like I worked up to, I just do like pistol squats instead of this.
Right.
Instead, and eventually I'll probably just start adding weight, because if I just do like 100 in that, it's 200 for squat. I can't do that Monday. I mean, I used to do that type of shit when I was like lifting heavy, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and that's like what fucked me up, I think.
Yeah. The Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing is more of a beginner thing,
thing.
because the intensity is so low. Like Monday, Friday is really or Monday, Thursday is like a smart way to do it.
Monday, Thursday. I've been doing like on 2 days off, on 2 days off.
Yeah, that's smart. And that's like intermediate kind of level. Once you're good with your back and you can kind of almost just blend it into a normal strength thing, then you go once a week. I do back extension on Monday.
Yeah.
That's it. And then
I'm still on isos with a back extension. It's because like if I wanted to, I could muscle through.
Yeah.
Like I could do extensions. I could do that. I could probably rep it out for like 40 like
Yeah.
I used to. But like it's I'm gonna get the tissue intolerance. I'm gonna be hurting the next day.
Totally.
So like mine was more like building that, and like because the legs I'm strong. That I'm strong. But it's more like okay. So
you got enough to work on too. Like there's other things that you can like find with hips or related stuff that will help the back than just spamming.
Yeah.
Obviously I love back extension, but there's no speeding it up. You can only slow it down.
that's why I do like the main ones. I think on that main lift day, and then I'm gonna try doing like more hip stuff, more stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the other days, maybe like keeping activation with my back as well.
Mm-hmm.
We only have the flat.
Oh damn.
We do the flat one, so I'm on like 2 minutes for that one.
Yeah, no wonder you feel.
I feel that.
The flat is crazy.
The flat is a lot, and I do have one setup. I have like my sled belt that I'll put it in my door, hook it up in my door, and then I can just lean against it. It's kind of like doing yourself.
Right.
But like the flat one, that I feel.
Put that high. For the flat one, make sure it's pretty high for holds. Yeah.
I mean, it like feels good when I do that one. Like I feel like full top to bottom back. Like,
You
activation.
definitely do. Yeah.
And like if I go like after that, I feel like I'm like strong. I can do everything, but Like that's the main thing. And then the other one was, and I know he was asking about it too, is like, like I haven't done plyos in 2.5 years. I still have a 30 right now. Like, and I know if I do plyos, I'll get back to like 38.
Yeah.
But like I don't feel necessarily comfortable adding that just because I know if I do this all the time, my back's gonna like blow out. Like I was like, I could start with literally just like toe hops like this, but like I don't even know when to start that.
Yeah. I view jogging as plyos even. Like I'm a runner and the sprinter, and like they don't ever tell you that jogging is good for anything with sprinting. But when I had to get back to sport, learning jogging as a one-footed plyo over and over and getting the bounce, it's the same thing as pogos. Yeah, and just like building on such a methodical, start once a week. You go for a 3-minute jog. That's that's a 200 rep mini plyo, and be very intentional about a stiff ankle, pretty middle of the foot. Don't heel strike. Be a plyo based how you're trying to. I know like a run up of an actual jump is very different, but this is the sake of tolerance and just building it.
I like the PJF stuff. I'm sure you.
Yeah.
Like I like the time tempo.
Yeah, do all that.
Shit.
And landing, and it kind of gets like a coordination skill component.
Would you say I should do that on the same day as doing the back extension when I'm activated, or do you think that's? I think that might be too much doing it the day after if my back was fine. Day before.
If you're not juggling like serious current injury, it could be fine.
Okay. Yeah.
I would rather be protected and then risk maybe doing a little bit too much versus going in cold.
I like to be activated and be like.
Your body will trust you more, and it might just keep it super sub max.
I think that's it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're doing great work. Congrats on all the coaching. You're doing phenomenal, bro. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, see, man, dude.
Hey, you too. No.
Just thanks for all the content you post.
Thanks,
Definitely helped me along the way. I had a sciatica for you.
Yeah.
Managed to then herniated is pretty much cleared that up now. So definitely a lot better. Isometrics go great.
Yeah.
Just had one question, just besides this with the plyos. But for whatever reason, like the one plane of motion, I'm not really able to gain mobility back in. Just really straight down, touch my toes. Like I do martial arts, I throw head kicks. I have the flexibility of my hamstrings.
Right.
But if I go down like this, like my back is from going any further. I don't know if you have any insight.
I mean, the kicks are a little bit more allowing because it's one leg at a time. Like the tension isn't to the max. But to me, that just sounds like if you had sciatica active, the nerves run through the fascia. If it's tight, it's through the tightness around the fascia too. It takes time to nerve flossing and stuff. Okay, well the flossing is to get it unstuck and to get it grooving. Well, then you have to build the tolerance to stretch slowly over time. That's why, I used to teach, you know what elephant walks are?
Yeah.
Some of that's good to slowly get one leg at a time.
Yeah.
You have to gain 2 legs at a time. I would start the journey of stretching for further nerve access, because that's what I would call it. If you really can't go down here, but you can throw up a kick, you have the flexibility, there's no other thing other than connective tissue or nerves, then I would start really far from, where does this get? As far from the back, try to see, okay, I'm going to increase the stretch of the nerves. If you're thinking it's a muscle issue, you go like this to stretch the hamstrings. But if it's a nerve issue or fascia, tightness of the whole thing, you can stretch anything from the arch of the foot to the calf, and it's working on the whole chain. Yeah. So just get really, really solid with calf stretch. I don't know if you've been doing that. Work from, yeah, so do the foot sits, work the arch of the foot, stretch it, get that better. Just do the sits like we were doing. Stretch the crap out of the calves all the time, strengthen it into that deep range. And then stuff behind the knee. I mean, there's a few different ways you can go about that. But I wouldn't start with just trying to stretch from the center all the way there. I would start far from the problem and stretch the foot, stretch the ankle, because that's already stretching the problem. It's just, that stuff remodels kind of slow. It's good you're out of pain, but to get further, that might be another year of just very gently. By the time you're doing reps here?
Yeah.
Okay, well, are you okay full reps?
Yeah.
Have you done with weight?
I'll do Zercher grip.
Okay. Well, I would keep challenging the way that you do it. Because once you get, Zercher's pretty good actually. If you get bar behind head, it's just going to further stretch you. And you're going to get more and more and more. And then especially I didn't even know you could do this. This pad is stretching my toes up. So if you ever do them and you're like kind of flat, if there's any way to elevate, just get the nerve stretched more. But if it's not stopping you or causing pain, I just think it's something over the next year you slowly work at. Yeah, it'll come back, you know? But I'm glad you're feeling better.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming. Yes, sir. Beautiful. You did great. Thank y'all. Thank you.